Hello, my name is William Meader, and this is a recorded overview of a workshop that I'll be doing in London on May 18th, which is a Saturday. It's a day-long workshop, and the title of the workshop is Practical Mysticism, the Way of the Future. So I wanted to give you an overview of how to understand what this workshop is really all about. You know, in the esoteric philosophy, which is the philosophy that I work with, it has long been understood that humanity is currently in a major transition, and it's a major transition that has to do with a transition from life as a mystical orientation or life as a mystic to the life of a practical mystic. Indeed, we're going into the era of practical mysticism. So my goal is to really talk about that transition and understanding its implications in our own spiritual lives. And by the way, that transition has a correspondence to the great transition that is happening astrologically from the age of Pisces, which has a long association with mystical ways of looking at life and one's relationship to the divine, into the age of Aquarius, which is really very much around taking that mystical understanding and getting it out into the world as a function of service in a practical way, in a tangible way, in a more effective way. So the transition from mysticism to practical mysticism has a direct correlation to the transition between Pisces and Aquarius. And in both cases, we're in a very significant overlap period in that transitional process, you see. So we'll be looking closely at practical mysticism. The big difference is that practical mysticism, it still holds that deep mystical connection of heart to divinity, but now it's about saying, hey, what can we do with the deeper insights that we get through our meditations, through our prayer life? What are the intuitive things that we're sensing from the soul? But then how do we take those ideas and that wisdom and then shape it into something that can be delivered into the outer world as a function of service, but in a practical, realistic way? So it's really all about bringing heaven to earth in a true sense. So we'll look at this very deeply. We'll be looking at various skills, attitudes, methods that are cultivated when you start to live the life of a practical mystic. We'll be looking at its relationship to the third eye as well, and its evolution over the vastness of time. We'll also be closely connecting this to what is called the emergence of the seventh ray as well. Uh, I just mentioned that there's this transition from Pisces to Aquarius, but there's also a transition from a sixth ray age to a seventh ray age. Though some of you may not be familiar with this, the rays, let me just say that rays represent just categories of divinity or patterns of thought emitted by the greater life. And the seventh ray is sometimes called the ray of the practical mystic. And so we'll be looking at understanding the role of practical mysticism and understanding more about how this divine ray, this seventh ray, helps us to become more effective practical mystics. So friends, my hope is that through this workshop, you will gain some deeper insights into your own journey, your own evolution, and your process of transitioning from a mystical orientation to a more grounded, practical, mystical approach in life. I think you'll find this presentation to be a rich overview and rich with understanding of your journey and some ideas that will help you along the way. As on that note, I want to thank you for listening to this, and I truly hope I see you in London. Again, it's on the 18th of May, which is a Saturday, at the Psychosynthesis Trust. Hope to see you there. Take care. Bye for now.